Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday the 30th of January 2018. So yesterday in the pound we see this moving lower, and that's because if we look at the dollar index, you will see it has found support and is moving higher at the moment. So why is this going on? Well, if we just move over to here, you will see that the market is waiting for the final Yellen FOMC meeting minutes out tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. that's GMT, and it's going to be interesting because, as it says here, that the street is spooked by Yellen's upcoming hawkish swan song, which basically means that again, interest rates moving higher and after she's left. At the moment there's 0% chance for tomorrow night, but when Powell takes over at the end of or middle of February, then March, his first job is going to be at his first live event to actually increase interest rates once more. And this is going to be a major problem going forward for poor old Powell. It looks like he's going to pick up the grief as all this lot starts to unravel. And if you have a look at the 10-year yield, which we've looked at before, it's now 2.71. It's blasted through the 2.63 area that we looked at recently, and now the concern is the 3% area, which we had in 2014. And if the market goes through this, then this is going to pose a real problem for the US, because every basis point higher in rates, the interest on the debt also increases on the repayments, which they've already sitting on 22 trillion. The cost of issuing new debt is higher, and this is where we're at the end of the business cycle of the last 10 years as well. And of course, rolling over the old debt, it goes up as well, and the US always rolls its debt. It has to, because otherwise they'd be debt free, so they keep rolling the debt as well, and an increase in rates is going to make matters worse. So what we were seeing at the moment is the market trying to anticipate what Yellen's going to say in a final statement. The pound weaker, which we can expect after the recent move. This down, and then it tries to attempt to move higher and then back down as well. But because of the 17% drop in the dollar in the last year, this weakness is going to play out certainly for the next 28 to 48 hours until they know what Yellen has got to say. So if you know, you can see through here that we've got the selling, which we covered yesterday, in the market moving lower at the moment. We can't find any retracement area at the moment until we put in a bottom, but we can just see from these rising lows downside targets. Once we've got a bottom in place, we can work out how much momentum the pound will have going back, and then if it's going to come back or continue higher thereafter. But at the moment, it's a bit of weakness for the next 24 hours for certain, I would have thought, as the market waits for Yellen. And the weekly chart, you can see there also showing some weakness. In the Dow, same thing really. We've got the market trying to move higher. You can see the buying, and then all of a sudden it's hit with the selling, and this is a very interesting selling bar as well. You can see there we've got three sells as the market comes, the selling comes into the market. You've got more selling there, and it was straight down. Now there's weakness around in this market for the first time in I don't know how many months. We've not seen it, but like I said in yesterday's market alert, at some point it has to come to an end. I don't think this is it. This is just nervousness by the market waiting for Yellen, see what she's got to say tomorrow. But you can see there's the sellings around. They try and buy it back, lots of volume here to buy it back, but then is met with selling there again, and the market moving low. So there's some selling around at the moment, and overnight it's not been pretty at all. You can see here how the Dow's move low. This is a shakeout. You can see there that the volume on this bar, this one here, is virtually no selling. So what's happening here is that the market makes it, okay, let's see if anybody really wants to sell into this. We've had this weakness down here. We can see the selling with the red bars, and what they've done is then brought the market back, and now it's moving back towards the upside. So we've got a bit of a shakeout going on here at the moment. New all-time high yesterday in the pre-market session. You can see already the market's coming off the lows. We want to watch the volume during today, and by the end of today, if it's higher than yesterday's, then we'll certainly see some support coming into the market. So it's going to be interesting. Is it the end of the bull run? Definitely not. This is just a shakeout that we've got here at the moment. Of course, as soon as Powell comes in, that's going to boost the market. They'll think there's fresh face, new ideas, all that nonsense. So no, definitely not over. But at the moment, we've got a bit of weakness around, waiting for Yellen's departure. Let's have a quick look at the implied. This is up markedly, as you would expect, and 12.84. The low is down here. Let's just have a look, see what this low is, and I'll show you why. We've not had this for an awful long time. If I can get the mouse on the right point. So 8.14. So if we get to around 16%, if we have a shoot up to here because of the weakness overnight, then that will show that there's more or less the pullback will be over. 100% increase in the implied volatility has always shown a pullback in any market is, or not in any market, in the Dow is generally over. It will be volatile sideways, and then eventually we'll move back to the upside, which probably coincide with Powell taking office there. So keep an eye on this one, but certainly up yesterday, as you would expect. And meanwhile, in the crypto sphere, market remains sideways, and again I would expect this to continue probably sideways to lower as it comes down to the bottom channel in this market. So draw it in, whoops, get the right tool would be useful. Let's just change the color as well. So there's your sort of main channel, and you've got a smaller one inside of that as well. So very, very quiet on Bitcoin at the moment. This is useful. We could do with this being really quiet for the next 2 or 3 weeks, get the spreads down on all of the spread betting companies, and that would be great, because I tried trading it the other day, but the spreads are a bit too wide. Still made money, but it was interesting. Even at 10p per point, you're going in with a £10 initial loss, and it's just not it's okay for a punt for the medium term or for the long term, but day trading, absolutely no at this stage, because the spreads are too wide. 20 points, not a problem, because the volatility and the range is enough, but certainly not anything over 50 or 100 and 200 it's been as well. But we'll see. It'd be useful if they would narrow the spreads, and anybody that does will be a gift to any day trader, because of the range that Bitcoin has. It's great for that, but at the moment it was worth a try, but it's not certainly not a goer at this point. Yeah, let's see if they do eventually narrow the spreads, but they've certainly reduced it by 100 points, but they're very nervous there. They got completely shafted back in November when the overnight market went up £2,000. Sorry, not the overnight. The weekend market went up over £2,000, and it just pulled the pants down on these spread bettors. When I phoned them and said, you know, can I get in? I can't get in, and they said, no, we're not taking any more bets. And I thought, no, you've been financially shafted. That's why. And that's why the spreads widen so much as far as spread betting is concerned. So let's see. This you know, sideways could be useful for the opportunity to spread bet going forward, but we'll have to wait and see. I say at the moment it's not viable, not for day trading. Also noticed yesterday that IG Index are now showing the data, the trades, and the charts are being updated over the weekend as well. I think it was something new they brought in last weekend, so that's useful, as well as the Bitcoin trades 24/7. They're now updating their MT4 platform with prices during the weekend as well, which is great. So we'll see what happens there. Right, that'll do it for today. It's Tuesday. It's the day before the FOMC. I wouldn't expect too much volatility, but you never know with a bit of nervousness around at the moment, certainly on the overnight. But the market definitely waiting for Yellen's last FOMC minutes tomorrow. Right, that'll do it for this one. If anything to report, let you know. Other than that, as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.